At my wedding, my mother-in-law disowned my husband for marrying a poor black single mom, then vanished for 15 years until we sold our company for $900 million, and she called asking for a luxury apartment and a Range Rover like nothing had ever happened. She screamed it in front of 200 people. I disown you, Dave, for marrying a poor black single mom. Then she turned and walked out, heels hitting marble like a gavel, like she'd already won. That was our wedding day. I stood at that altar in white, magnolias in my hair, watching my mother-in-law destroy the best moment of my life like it was sport. Dave's hand went stiff in mine. Nobody moved. Not the pastor. Not my mother. Hand pressed flat to her chest in the front pew. Not one single person in that church made a sound. Lorene didn't wait for a reaction. She was already gone. We tried everything after that. Calls. Every night. Letters. 3 of them. We drove 45 minutes to her house and stood on her porch while she watched us from behind a curtain. Didn't open the door. Didn't turn the porch light on. Just watched us stand there in the dark until we left. After 2 months of that, Dave set the phone down and didn't pick it back up. And we started building a home care company. Just the 2 of us at a wobbly kitchen table after our daughter fell asleep. $11 an hour had shown me exactly what was broken in this industry. I knew how to fix it. Nobody believed us at first. Not the banks, not the landlord who didn't care about our dreams when rent was due, but we didn't need anyone to believe us. We just needed each other. We got licensed. We landed our first hospital contract, then a second county, then a third. We hired caregivers, built real systems, moved out of the kitchen and into an office between a laundromat and a tax preparer. Nothing fancy, but ours. Years moved. The roster grew past 60 caregivers, then past 100. Families stopped calling us by account number and started asking for us by name. Lorene sent nothing, said nothing. Her silence stopped being a wound a long time ago. It just became weather, a condition we planned around instead of waiting for it to change. Then a man in a gray suit walked into our newest facility and started asking quiet questions about growth numbers and retention rates. Private equity. I knew the shape of it before he said a word. 2 years after that conversation, we were sitting across a conference table from 6 lawyers and a senior executive with a practiced smile and billions under management. Dave squeezed my hand once underneath the table before anyone spoke. $900 million. We signed on a Tuesday morning. No champagne, no speeches, just Dave's name beside mine on documents thick enough to need their own briefcase. That night, we sat at our kitchen table, steadier now, no wobble, and barely said a word. I don't know exactly when Lorene saw the news segment. I only know what happened after. Dave's phone rang 3 days later. A number he hadn't seen in 15 years lit up the screen. He went rigid beside me on the couch. Just stared. "It's her," he said. He answered. There was a pause, long enough that I almost thought she'd hung up. Then her voice came through, clear, steady. Like 15 years was nothing more than an inconvenient gap. Dave, no apology, no hello, just, I need a new apartment, and I'm going to need a car, a Range Rover, the autobiography. The silence that followed was the loudest thing I have ever heard in my own home. Dave sat frozen, mouth slightly open, phone pressed to his ear like he was waiting for the rest of a sentence that wasn't coming. I reached over and took the phone from his hand. He let me. Lorene, my voice didn't shake. "This is Wendelin." I heard her breath catch. "After our wedding, we called you. We texted you. We drove to your house and stood on your porch while you watched us from behind the curtain, and never once opened that door. That's not why I'm calling. I know exactly why you're calling." Silence. "You saw the news." She didn't deny it. 15 years ago, you disowned us. I let that sit. Today, we're simply respecting your decision. Her voice cracked, just barely. "Let me speak to my son. This doesn't concern you. It concerns me completely." I looked at Dave. His eyes were locked on mine, but I'll let him decide that for himself. I held the phone out. Dave looked at his mother's name glowing on the screen. Then he reached past it and picked up something else from the table entirely. Full story on channel, link below.